Hello and welcome. This is Atul Wadkar, your instructor. Today we'll start with programming in Python. In order to implement artificial intelligence or machine learning or even data science or Internet of Things, we need some programming. So that programming language can be embedded C or Python or even R programming language. The Python is the number one choice for machine learning and artificial intelligence. That's why we are going to cover this programming language in detail. So before we actually start implementing the Python codes and start understanding and learning the Python, we must discuss about the programming. So firstly, we'll discuss about what exactly the programming is, what is programming and how to write some basic codes in Python. So let us try to understand what is the meaning of programming. So many times we come across this term, the programming. So we talk about coding, software development, software testing, software designing, such kind of terms. And we are also talking about the programmers and programming. But what exactly the programming means? Technically, programming means giving instructions to an electronic machine. Now the electronic machine can be anything. It can be a robots, it can be a computers, or it can be a mobile phones or calculators. All these are the examples of electronic machine. So if you are giving some instructions to an electronic machine, that process is nothing but programming. So why we are giving instructions to an electronic machine, that will be the next question based on this discussion. Because we want that machine should work for us. For example, we want the robot should work for us. Even the automatic door opener system should open the door for us. Even the smart attendance system, we are expecting that the attendance system will recognize our face using some machine learning algorithms, and that is going to do some activities for us or going to reduce our efforts. So we are expecting some work from the machines, from automated systems, using some rule-based programming or some fixed rules, or maybe using some machine learning algorithms. That's why we are doing programming. Now, if we are doing programming, if you are assigning some work to machine instead of human beings, definitely there will be an unemployment in the country. In a country like India, or even in all other countries, we are facing the unemployment, and still we are talking about will employ machines instead of human beings. Why this is so? So even this is going to happen, or this is going to create some unemployment, but that is going to create some employment in other domains, in designing smart systems or designing the artificial intelligence based products or Internet of Things based product. So there will be employment in that particular domain. But still, why we are doing this thing? Why we are giving tasks to the machines? So there are several reasons, and this is the list of these reasons. The number one reason is speed. So we can't challenge the machines' speed. The machines are too much fast in their work. So the work that the machine can perform, or activities that machine can complete in few seconds, so we need several hours to complete that thing. The next is accuracy, which by any other person on the planet. Consider you want to withdraw some amount, and you visit ATM machine and you try to withdraw something. So once you withdraw some amount, let's say 10,000 rupees from the ATM machine, you need not find any necessity to count the notes. But the same thing if you do, or if you withdraw from the cashier by visiting the bank, it will count notes for 2 times, at least for 2 times. This is because we can't trust on the human beings, but we can blindly trust on machines' accuracy. They are too much accurate to their duties. The third parameter is the cost. Employing machine is one-time investment. For example, in the industry, if you employ a robot instead of human beings, in that case there will be a one-time investment. After that there will be a minor maintenance charges. But if you are considering the human beings are going to work instead of machines, in that case what will happen? You have to pay salary every month to that humans or whatever the workers are there. So that is the important thing. So cost is also one of the important parameter why we are going for the machines. Honesty. The machines are too much honest to their duties. So whatever task you will assign to machine, they will work with full dedication and with supreme honesty, and they can repeat their actions over the period of time. So for example, whatever work is done by machine today will be same tomorrow, even after 2 months, and even after some years as well. But this is not the case with human beings. So today whatever work we are doing may not be same tomorrow, and again the work may increase or decrease based depending upon the time. But this is not the case with machines. Their dedication towards work or their honesty towards work remains constant, and they are very much honest to their duties. And the repeatability is the same thing. As I said, the machines can repeat their actions over the period of time. So whatever task they are doing today and tomorrow and even after 10 years, 20 years will be same. But this is not the case with human beings. Now with this discussion, we have understood what is programming and why we are doing programming and why we are giving instructions to an electronic machine. So the next and the larger question is, if I have to give instructions to an electronic machine or any other system, which programming language or which language should I use? For example, if there is a Hindi speaking person and if I have to instruct that person to do some task, I'll give instructions in Hindi. Similarly, if there is English speaking person is there and I want to instruct that person to do some activities, so I'll instruct in English language. But here I am not talking about any living organism or not even animal. I am talking about the machines, the electronic systems. So if I have to instruct the electronic machines like computers or the mobile phones or television, which language should I use? So as far as the machines are concerned, like computers, they understand the binary language. So binary means zeros and ones. It's the language of zeros and ones. So here 1 means plus 5 volt and 0 means 0 volt. The binary language is also called as machine level language. Now it's the language of voltage and current. So as automatic door openers, temperature controlled fan, robots, they are electronic machines. They will understand the language of voltage and current only and know any other language. So in order to instruct such machines, I must speak in the language of voltage and current. Now it's very much difficult for us to speak in the language of voltage and current because we are not familiar with this language, and this is not the language which we use. So what will be the way out? Consider a simple situation. You have to speak with the Japanese person who don't know English, and again you don't know Japanese. So how you will communicate with that person? So you will have a translator in between who will convert your language to Japanese, and again the reply from Japanese to your language. So this is how you will establish a communication between you and a Japanese person. So same thing happens in case of machine programming or giving instructions to machines as well. The machine do not understand Hindi or English or any other language, or not even C language, or not even Python or Java. They understand the language of voltage and current only. So you have to give instructions in that language, but unfortunately we are not familiar with the language of voltage and current, so we have to use some translators. So all the translator softwares are known as compilers or interpreters in programming. So we'll use some compiler or interpreter. In case of C language, we have to use compiler, or in case of Python, you will go with interpreter. Okay, so there is differences between compiler and interpreter that we'll see in upcoming few lectures. But for this moment, just understand, in order to program machine, you'll write a code in some high level language, and again you will convert that code to machine code with the help of some compiler or translator software, or maybe by using some interpreter, and that will be directly audible to machine. Now the next question with this discussion: if I have to use some compiler software, or if I have to use some translator software which will translate any high level language code into machine code, why can't we use English language for programming or any other verbal language? So the answer to this question, I'll explain this with the help of some simple example. Consider the following statement: I saw a boy on hill with a telescope. So as far as the grammar of this statement is concerned, it's correct, and even all words belongs to English language. Now what will be the meaning of this statement? So there are two possibilities or two number of meanings. The number one meaning is I am having a telescope and the boy is on hill. This is one possible meaning of this statement. And the second meaning can be the boy is having the telescope and I am watching him. So there is no unique meaning for each and every statement in English language. In case of machine level programming, we should have a unique meaning for each and every statement. For example, if I say door open, then that means the door has to be open. If I say door closed, that means the door will be closed. So this kind of language, the English language, is not at all suitable for programming, as every statement may have different meanings. So it needs a complex analysis, and the context in which the person is speaking, that must be known to us in order to extract some meaning from the particular statement. But this is not suitable for computer programming or for machine programming. That's why we have developed many programming languages such as C, which is popularly used for Internet of Things, and Python is also used for Internet of Things, and majorly for artificial intelligence and machine learning. Even deep learning and data science is implemented using Python programming. So we'll learn this programming language, and before that we should understand why Python, why not any other language. Now the number one reason is Python has healthy, active and supportive community. Meaning, whenever you start learning the Python and you get some problems, so if you can put some queries on online forums, immediately you will get a solution to your queries or your problems within few hours, because the Python is used by many developers across the world, and they will support you because the community is healthy, active and supportive for the Python. The Python is used for artificial intelligence and machine learning. So this is the one of the important application of Python, and Python is the number one choice for AI ML, as it has the strong mathematical background. The Python has amazing libraries. So you can imagine that the whatever code you are writing in Python will be smaller than any other programming language. This is because the Python has got amazing libraries. You need not write the entire code. You just have to use the libraries and rearrange, arrange your code in proper format, and that's all. So you can use the multiple libraries, and even for each and every application you will find some libraries created by some developers, and they are openly available. You can simply download these libraries in your project and you can use such libraries. Even the Python libraries are also used to capture the image of black hole. So this is an historic day in human race when we were able to capture the photograph of black hole. So before that, the black hole was just a theoretical concept, but we have captured the black hole image, and the data processing is done using some Python library. The Python is reliable and efficient, and it is easy to learn, and it is available on all the platforms. It can work on Windows, it can work on Linux, and even it can work on Mac machines. Even it can work on the Raspberry operating system, or even it can work on the Raspberry Pi, which is the IoT hardware. So it can work on even Raspberry Pi and any other microcontrollers. Even the MicroPython is also developed to work on some microcontrollers or some on IoT hardware. So these are some examples of companies which uses the Python as a major programming language. And this list is not the complete list. This is just a snap of the complete list. But as these companies are quite popular, I am listing here. The number one is YouTube, is using as a major programming language. And the NASA, of course, as it needs the complex mathematics, and the NASA is handling the data which is very much complex. So the Python is again the number one choice for NASA. Google is also making extensive use of Python. Netflix is also making use of Python. The Raspberry Pi, as I just said, it's again using Python, and even it is the recommended language for Raspberry Pi, which is single board credit card sized computer. Even the Dropbox is also taking use of the Python programming language. Now, how to download Python and how to install in your computer. In order to download and install Python, you simply have to visit this website, www.python.org/downloads. From there you can download .exe file in your computer. After downloading that file, you simply have to run that file, and after that you can open the default IDE of Python, which is idle, and there you can start basic programming in Python. So we'll discuss how we can download this thing from the internet, how to download the Python, how to install it, and how we can use it. So here I have opened the Google and this is the browser. In the browser you simply have to search on Google download Python, that's it, and just hit enter. Now the very first result is download Python. Okay, now there are lots of versions of Python available, like this Python 3.8.6 and so on. Even you can search a particular version also, like download Python 3.6 likewise, so you will get the results for downloading Python 3.6. So you just have to open this link, and once you open this link, it will show you this page. Now currently the Python 3.9.0 is in market. So, and also you can check out the other versions, like this is the version history, and this is again the complete release date. So this is on October 5, 2020. On September 24 you have this Python 3.8.6 version. So currently we have this version, Python 3.9.0. So what you can do, you can simply click on this button. So after clicking this button, it will download the Python's .exe file based on your operating system. Also note that this will automatically detect your operating system. If you are using Windows operating system, it will detect the operating system, and based on your operating system, it will suggest the version of your Python. If you are using the Mac operating system, it will detect that also, and again based on your operating system, that will provide you the different version to download. Okay, so now once you click on this download button, it will download the .exe file in your computer. It will take some time to get downloaded. So I have already downloaded this file, and I'll show you how we can install this. So once you download the Python, so I have downloaded Python 3.7.4, you may download the latest version also, or any other version you want. So once you have this file, now this is exe file, you just have to run this file in order to install the Python in your computer. By double clicking this file, you can run this setup and you can install the Python in your environment. So once I double click this, so it will show install Python 3.7.4 on your computer. There is a button install now, and it will show you the folder in which it will be installed. So it is in C user // and this is the directory in which the Python is getting installed. You can even customize the installation by choosing different location than this, as it is by default in this folder. You can choose different location and some other features as well. But the most importantly, you have to click on this button. This checkbox should be clicked. Add Python 3.7 to path. If this is not done, the Windows operating system or the command prompt will not be able to find the Python, and if the command prompt of Windows is not able to find the Python, you will not be able to install additional packages in Python environment or additional libraries. But yes, you can you can also configure your environmental variables in Windows operating system. Even if you do not click this, in that case you have to configure your environmental variables, and that is a little bit complicated process. So instead of that, I'll prefer go with this option. Just click the or just check this box, add Python 3.7 to path, and after that click on install now. So once you click on this thing, it will start the setup and it will take some time to get installed. So once you install the Python in your computer, you can check whether it is properly installed in your computer by clicking command prompt. So you can hit the command prompt here, and the command prompt will be open, and here simply you type Python and hit enter. So it will show you the version of Python which is installed in your computer. So here in my case it's showing Python 3.6.0 is installed in my computer, and now the setup is successful. So by exit command you will exit from here, and now you have successfully installed the Python in the computer, and now actually you can start programming in Python. So we are very much interested to start learning the Python, and now I have successfully installed Python in my computer, and now it's time to start the Python programming. So in order to open the Python, as you can see, there is no shortcut key for Python on the desktop. Like whenever we install some software, you may find some shortcut on the desktop, but this time I'm not getting any kind of shortcut on the desktop. So what you can do, simply you have to search from the Windows IDLE or Python. You can also search by Python or IDLE. So IDLE is the default interactive environment for programming in Python. So click on here, so it will open the IDLE for the Python, which is default programming environment for Python. Whenever you install Python in your computer, automatically will be installed in your computer. So this is the IDLE I am talking about. So here you will make it some different options in file, edit, shell, and even in the debug or in option. So this is quite interesting option to you. You can configure your IDLE. You can change the font and its size, and even you can make it bold. Even the highlighting, you can choose different themes. Even you can create your own custom theme as well. You can save that custom theme. So this is how your program will look like. This is default theme. So the comments in the Python will look like this. The functions and the string will be in green color. So this is some highlight colors and everything is displayed over here. You can change this also, and you can create your own custom theme also, and that can be saved, and you can use that theme for your project. So this is all about configuring this IDLE. You can choose different color themes and other options like font and font style and its weight, and whether it can be a bold or natural font. Now this window is called as Python shell, and they will initially the Python version will be displayed over here. Now here in this case it is Python 3.6.0, and again this the operating system it's 64-bit. Now this Python shell is interactive, and here actually you can use this Python shell as a basic calculator. For example, 2 plus 3, it is 5. 5 minus 2, it is 3. You just have to type some mathematical expression and you will get some answer. 5 into 2, you will get 10. 5 divided by 2, you will get 2.5. So this is how it can work. Even the expression can be complex one. For example, 4 into 5 plus 2. So here the answer should be 4 into 5 is 20 plus 2. So as per the BODMAS rule, it should be 22. Okay. So here you are getting that thing as well. So this is how this thing is going to work. You can even put some complex expressions over here, and also this shell can be used as a basic Python calculator. So this is a basic calculator as a shell. You can use as a calculator as well. In order to print some message, simply you just have to write print let's say hello from Python. Okay, and just close the bracket and hit enter, so that will be printed. Interestingly, the print function or the string can be even written in single quotes, hello from Python, and just hit enter. This is also happening. So in case of Python, the double quotes and single quotes are treated similarly. Now even here you can, initially I was talking about just 2 plus 3, and this thing I was directly giving some values, but you can also create some variable like a equals to 10, and then you can write b equals to 5, and then you can write c equals to a plus b. Okay, like this, and hit enter. So now in this case it's not c, but after writing the print function print c, it can print the value of c. So this is how you can create some basic mathematical calculator using Python and this Python shell. Now if you want to change this code, for example, I have written this simple code for addition of two numbers, and I want to change the code. For example, instead of 10 I want to make it 20. So if you try to do here or try to erase this thing, it's not possible, because it's like a command prompt, it's like a command window. The shell is nothing but a command window. Whatever you type here will be executed immediately, it will be treated as a command and will be executed immediately. So it's not possible to edit this code, and again you can't store this code. So in future if you want to make modifications to this code, that is not possible. But this is not the drawback of this shell or Python shell window. It's like a command prompt. The Python also provides you the text editor from the file menu, so you can click on the file and the new file, or Control N is the shortcut key from keyboard. You can click here, and now this thing will open. Now here actually you can write some basic code like a equal to 10, then I can write b equals to 5, and then c equals to a plus b, and then print c. And then you can save this code by Control S. You can save, and you can edit this code as well. So here I'm not going to discuss how our basic program in Python. I just wanted to tell you that this is Python editor. Here you can actually edit the code, and you can write this code from the file menu. You can save this file somewhere, and in future you can also modify this code. And even I can modify, like I want 20, so I can change it here. Even I can change this expression. So this is editable version of your code, and after that you can run this code from here, from run module. So we'll discuss programming in Python in more detail from next lecture. For this moment, just download the Python and get it installed in your computer, and after installing, just try some basic mathematics or some calculations on the Python shell window. Just play with this Python shell, and also try to understand the editor window of this Python IDE. So in future we'll be installing some different packages which are required to execute our project on the practicals in Python environment using the pip instructions in command prompt, and we'll also discuss in detail the Python programming. Okay, so this was all about the downloading the Python, and all about the basics of programming. You can write some print functions and some basic mathematics or calculations here, and you can execute here. The Python is an interpreted programming language. The meaning is at a time single instruction is executed. In case of compiled programming languages, entire code is translated in one go to machine code, and after that it is executed. In case of interpreted programming languages, the code is translated to machine code instruction by instruction. So it will read instruction, translate to machine code, and execute. Read, translate, execute. Read, translate, execute. This is the cycle of interpreted programming language. But in case of compiled programming languages, entire code is translated to machine code in one go, and after that entire code is executed. So we'll also discuss that in detail in upcoming lectures. So for this moment, just download the Python ideally, or Python programming language or the Python software in your computer, get it installed and just play with the Python shell. So till then, enjoy the programming and stay connected with me, and thanks for watching.